Hey you guys, my name is Tamika and this is my channel Tamika Bloated, and today I am going to give y'all my November wrap up. Check this out. So I am excited to say that I read 11 books for the month of November, and for the most part they were pretty good. I really enjoyed most of them. Unfortunately, I don't have all of them, some being audiobooks or library books, but the ones I do have I'm going to show to you first, and then I'll tell you about the other ones that I also read that I don't have on me. So let's get into it. Two of the books that I read is a continuation of a manga series that I've already told y'all about, but I went ahead and I continued with it, and it is 3 and 4 of Say I Love You. I really love this series, and if you know anything about this series, if you don't, I will tell you it's the story of a girl named May, and she's a loner. She got hurt by her friends when she was younger and believes that she can do everything on her own until this guy falls in love with her, like pretty much love at first sight, which is super cheesy, but it's true. She actually gave him a roundhouse kick and blew him down the stairs, and he fell in love with her ever since. And pretty much them both learning what it means to love one another, to trust one another, and be in a relationship, and the insecurities that come with that, and the care that it takes to be in a relationship. It sounds kind of moppy and super like, yeah, but it actually is the sweetest, funniest stories. The weirdest things happen. There's tons of jealousy in here. And just warning, there's a lot of sex. Not between these two, funny enough. Anyway, the next book that I read was Percy Jackson and the Olympians, Part 1, The Lightning Thief. I am so glad I finally started this series. I'm definitely going to continue on. If it wasn't that I have a big month ahead of me in December, I would definitely go ahead and go straight into the second book with this. But I caught it around the end of November, so I really just didn't have time. But in 2016, I plan on going crazy with this series because I really enjoyed this. It is really good. The movies did it no justice. Not at all. I declare, and not to get off on a tangent, I declare that in the movies, they blended book 1 into both the first movie and the second movie. Because a lot of the stuff that happens in the second movie happened in this book. And I haven't read the second book, so I'm like, wait, so what did you actually take from the second book? But anyway, I gave this, I believe, a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I truly did enjoy it. I am excited about continuing on with this series. And if you want to read this with me, just let me know. There's a friend of mine that she hasn't completed it, and I told her I would read it, and I did. And I really plan on finishing it with her. So if you want to join us, please let me know. This next book, I got it, but I didn't read it directly. Actually, I let my mother read it, and she read it in one day, and she loved it. And so I told myself when I get the chance in the month of November, I was going to read it. So, and that is Lona. This is an awesome read. If you haven't read this, I really dare you to pick this up and tell me what you think. It's the story of actually Blackheart. You think it would be the girl on the book cover, her name, no. But it's the story of Blackheart and how he is the most notorious villain in his land. And one day he gets a visitor who is Nimona, looking to be his assistant or sidekick to his villainy. And all she wants to do is kill people. And she does. But Blackheart lives by a set of rules, and he really doesn't believe that killing is necessary, and everything is for a certain mission. And then when you learn about Blackheart, you learn that looks can be deceiving. Who really is the villain in this story? You wouldn't believe. So I really challenge you to read this. Tell me what you think. I loved it. The illustrations are absolutely adorable. I really loved it. And Nimona is the funniest thing. Like, I think what gets me the most about this, that I love so much, is right here. She's a shark and that shark has boobs. The next thing that I read that was meh was the graphic novel Vampire Academy. I mean, I got it for $1, so I should have been a little bit more pleased with it. It wasn't horrible. And I have not actually read the Vampire Academy series. I've seen the movie and I've read this graphic novel, and I really feel as though, should I read the book? I'm gonna read the book. I really am gonna read the book. I'm gonna dedicate myself to that series as well. But I think what was lacking is the story kind of jumped around a lot, and I felt like it did it in the movie too. So I'm starting to think that maybe that's the story, which is kind of making me eager to read the book because maybe it'll give me a little bit more. But that's what really was lacking. It was very jumpy. I was just like, how do we get to this scene? Who thinks like this? What made you come up with that decision? And I never do that with books. And the fact that a graphic novel made me think like that was just like, okay, it may not be me. But if you like this, please let me know. I didn't think it was horrible. I did enjoy it. And it's the same story as the movie, and it's the same story, I'm assuming, as the book. Two girls, one is a vampire, the other one protects her vampire maiden. And they go to Vampire Academy, where hopefully they'll stay safe from the Strigoi, who want to kill them for various reasons. More so power, maybe a little hunger, maybe because they're crazy. You decide, read it. The next book that I read is the beginning of another series that I've been quite interested in for the longest, and I've been saying I'm gonna read it since I purchased it some months ago in my first YouTube haul, and that is Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I hated this book in the beginning. I hated it so much. That's why it took me forever to read, because I couldn't get past chapter 1. But once I got past chapter 5, I felt for the story. I got it. I was enjoying it. It was fun. I was with the adventure. There isn't too much action. I can tell this book is really, really about creating the world, you understanding where people are coming from. The best part of the series, the best part of the book, unfortunately for me, was the flashbacks. There's like half the book is almost flashbacks, which are very necessary, and they're amazing flashbacks. But when we came back to the actual present, I was like, meh. However, I am going to continue on with this series because this ending was explosively awesome. And I really, really want to know what's going to happen with the main character. And just in case you are unaware of what Daughter of Smoke and Bone is about a girl who grew up with no parents. She grew up with a mysterious, I guess what you would say is a demon, who raised her, and he has her do odd and end jobs. And these jobs usually involve teeth. Very peculiar. And she also goes to an art school, and she likes to read comics of what people believe is fantasy, when really these are creatures she has seen. And she has a best friend, the only best friend she's ever had, because she's had to move around so much. And realness sets in as mysterious things start happening around her town, and she runs into a beautiful angel who tries to kill her, and then she tries to kill him, and then love ensues. Well, this is an awesome book. If you love flashbacks, if you love reincarnation, read it. This next book is the last book that I actually own, and it was my favorite book of the entire year, which is saying a lot. And it is Illuminae. Illuminae is my favorite book because it was so creative, it was so interesting, and I haven't been scared, captivated, and in amazement with a book all within the same day. I binge read this in one day. It's a pretty fast read because it's not like a regular novel. There's some blank pages in here. It's kind of like it's taking you on a visual journey, as well as just reading it. So with that, it is a pretty fast read, so don't be intimidated by this 600 pages this is. Why I loved this book. I loved it for its story. This is unique to me. I've never read anything like this. This probably is technically my first science fiction read like this. And I say that in the sense of that I have read Lunar Chronicles, and you can consider that as well science fiction, but it's more like, you know, a fairy tale retelling and very fantasy-like. But this one, no one has powers, okay? It is very much what it would be like, I guess, for us in the future. And it's a girl and a boy who have a very like normal relationship that you see anywhere else, and she got fed up with her boyfriend, decided to break up with him, and it just so happens that an evil corporation decides to invade her hometown and just about killing everybody. So her and her ex-boyfriend run off on 2 ships who are running away from this evil corporation, and craziness ensues. So if you like space, you like spaceships, if you like zombies, if you like zombies in space, and if you like evil artificial intelligence that thinks it's above all everyone else and you need it to survive but it wants to kill you, you're probably gonna like Illuminate. Oh, did I forget that, of course, if you also like conspiracies, again, I recommend Illuminate. This is definitely 5 out of 5 read for me. I put it on Goodreads. I put on a long explanation why I am in love with this book. I feel like my words didn't really explain why I'm in love with this book, but also this is part of a trilogy, and so the next book comes out next year, and so you should read it if you can, if you like this, and we can get together and we can read the second book when it comes out. But Illuminate, loved it, loved it, loved it. Hey you guys, pardon the way that I look. I am currently editing this video for you guys, and I realize it is long, so there will be a part 2 to this video explaining my wrap up. And like I said, in the future, in the new year, I'm gonna figure out a way not to make it so long. OMG. But anyway, please stay tuned to see the rest of the books that I read for the month, as well as my thoughts on them. Mwah! I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching my videos and encouraging me, being my friend, and talking to me. I've had so much fun these past few months. Still having fun. Loads more to come, more growth, and thank y'all. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.